So we're a couple of Jesus Christ, almost a full year away from really any voting at all. It's the start of June, and we're going to get voting starting in February. But I wanted to answer a question that was posed to me by someone that considers himself a Yang supporter, and they like his candidacy and his ideas and whatnot. They asked me, what would it take for him to be on the level of name recognition as someone such as Biden or Bernie or whatever. And I said it has a lot to do with being in some political position, so member of Congress, governor, whatever, um, which he has never been. So he's not going to get that same basic, just occasional glance of attention in the media. And you also have to factor in that you're in a field of 20 plus people, so it's hard to stand out. But he's managed to do that to his credit. Um, and this is kind of my point that I've talked about intellectual laziness, where people don't really see the need to prioritize learning about anything at all, especially if they don't think it's like some dire circumstance. Like, oh my God, if I don't know who all these candidates are and what their positions are, I'm not going to make an informed vote. No, plenty of people know almost nothing about half of this field and are not bothered by it. So Yang is going to be stuck having to deal with that, along with hoping that the supporters that he has, which is a fairly large group, are able to tell other people about him. I've had conversations with the people I seldom choose to speak about this stuff with. Just saying that I think this is good, that's good about Yang, whatever. And it's not done necessarily as some promotion type thing, but more so just to say, hey, out of all these candidates, this is the one that looks the most promising, or at least like in the top 4 or 5. Just certainly in the hierarchy. Um, but those kinds of like objective, because I've made no mention of the fact that he's not my first choice. That it is what it is. But I still recognize the smear campaign against him. I recognize the media purposefully not having him on that often, not speaking about him anywhere to the same level as someone like Harris or Booker or again Biden. And it's problems like that are not his fault, that unfortunately progressive, non corporate whore candidates are going to all have to deal with. So he's going to have to rely on his supporters and his performances in these states whenever they occur to be able to get that type of name recognition. Look at Sanders before his last campaign. Uh, he was not named that often, let's put it that way. So a presidential campaign can go very far in boosting someone's public image and the awareness of them, but it also has a lot to do with just whether the people are showing that kind of interest. I think with him they are, but he's compounded by the other issue. So thank you for seeing this and have a good Sunday.